On July 29th, we have the full moon in the sign of Aquarius at 6 degrees. The ruler of this moon is Saturn, and Saturn is in detriment in the sign of Aries. It's now retrograde here, and so is Neptune. It's possible we feel some sort of intuitive hits. We could have had feelings about someone, a little while back, maybe last year. And now we have the evidence. Saturn's retrograde. Maybe Saturn is now bringing the evidence to prove that those intuitive hits could have been correct. And potentially that could be the reason why you're severing relationships here. Because there's this Mars square to Venus. Mars is superior in this square here. So Mars is setting the agenda for Venus and how she behaves in her relationships, then Mars is trying to sever them and maybe using communications to sever. Both of the signs, though, are ruled by Mercury. So they're aligned in that sense. And Mercury is now direct, which went direct on the 23rd of July. Thank goodness. Mercury is now in Cancer conjunct with Sats. To build bridges or to destroy them. Speaking with clear authority while others are fumbling. Prominence in public affairs and management. Venus is conjunct to Nebula. In the more critical sign of Virgo, the Nebula is for swift judgments. Happiness turned to sorrow or anger. Busy with other people's affairs, anxiousness, nervous breakdowns, sickness, short-term benefits, which we can see again with this Mars. Venus conjunct Daphne. So Daphne wanted to escape the affection of Apollo. Nothing's wrong with Apollo. He's great. But she was very much determined to keep her chastity, her celibacy. This was important. This can be represented by the Saturn, Neptune, and Aries. So, sometimes it's really just about agency, that I'm allowed a choice and I'm allowed to say no. And the moon is also conjunct Yoli. Yoli is an asteroid, Yoli's father. He set up an archery contest. The winner of this contest would have Yoli's hand in marriage. And Hercules happened to win this contest, and Yoli would be the prize. And she tried to escape her fate, and her family tried to help her too, but he took her. I guess from her perspective, thankfully for the shirt or the cloak of Nessus, which Deianira placed on Hercules because she thought he was cheating. He was. So she was correct. And in a way, Yoli was rescued by this act. It could be a space where we're at the mercy of the circumstances, where we're out of control, where we don't have a say. Perhaps also where we're somewhat rescued by the circumstances. A protective mechanism, rejection as a form of protection, maybe an escape from difficult circumstances. The moon is conjunct Pluto here in Aquarius. Could be a jailbreak, freeing ourselves from a pain in our past. The moon is memories, and how do they haunt you with Pluto here? How do you use this full moon to let it go? To move forward with optimism. This Jupiter Cazimi here is opposing this moon-Pluto alignment. And looking at the lunar cycle, this full moon here is at the clarity point, the manifestation point of what began January 29th of 2025. If we can think back, if we have a journal too, that's great. We can just, even if you don't want to jot down your emotions. You can just jot down what occurred, just so you have the details. As the cycles replay themselves, you can see details and how they relate to the symbols as well. Whatever was birthed here in January 29th of 2025, we have more clarity on it now. We have a better idea of how to move forward with this idea here. With these particular Aquarius themes, could be ideas, could be the dreams for the future, visions that we had, even about our friends, our social group, maybe even about what we stand for, our causes that we support. Do you still believe the things that you believed back then, January of 2025? Neptune was still in Pisces at that time. Conjunct Venus, which Venus is exalted in Pisces, and conjunct the North Node. Perhaps we were a bit too idealistic. The sun was also conjunct Icarus, who flew too close to the sun. Yeah, it could be that we were a little too idealistic about our plans. Jupiter was conjunct Aldebaran as well, and it was in detriment in the sign of Gemini. It was also trine the sun, and Mercury was conjunct Pluto at the time, so it calls into question perhaps those visions, those dreams we had. What were our intentions? Were they sound? Are they in our best interest? Perhaps this release that we have here with this current moon, it can transform our feelings about, what has occurred over the past 18 months, this culmination from the seed to now the harvest. Perhaps now we're really investigating our feelings about this. Moon is currently conjunct Pluto in our full moon chart here at 6 degrees Aquarius. Juno representing partnerships, another factor seen through Aquarius of our social groups, our partnering with others, relationships for our future, transforming how we behave in them, how we feel about them. Do we need them? Maybe analyzing their worth. Moon Pluto can refer to our past, our childhoods, our mother, emotional security, memories. How can we transform our feelings and the habits that we have in the past? Reframing these memories into moments where you learned something, regained your strength, where you chose yourself. With the Neptune in Aries, it's squaring everyone who has Neptune in Capricorn. So, it could be addictive tendencies are coming back. Maybe they're not totally resolved. Jupiter is also in a Cazimi, right? So he's emboldened for this brief period that he's in the heart of the sun, the 17 arc minutes away from the sun, where he's not burning. This is the good part. This is a good distance away. And so he's emboldened for this brief period of time. And it's very optimistic, being optimistic about your own abilities for the future. Self-belief could be it could be a cognitive blind spot where it inflates our ego, our pride. Perhaps we feel exceptionally talented, immune to the consequences. Jupiter is conjunct Hygeia, so it may feel like we're healing something. We're releasing something of the home, the past. Maybe even responsibilities at home are being released. Maybe leaving the home. Maybe it feels healing. It feels right. Perhaps new relationships, finding new relationships that are healing. Severing of the old relationships to meet new ones that can heal the pain of the past. Makes me think of the birth of children with this Jupiter Cazimi. It can transform the home. Or it can refer to new parenting philosophies, creative philosophies around childhood learning. What about jingles as well with it in Leo, creativity, the little songs that inspire children to learn? I remember they had a lot of them on the show Arthur, and I love them. I still remember them to this day. And I'm thinking too, because Mars and Venus had their synodic cycle conjunct the fixed star Vega, which refers to Orpheus. Orpheus, who charmed Hades, the ruler of the underworld, with his song. Um, Perhaps we can use these creative elements to motivate in new creative ways. Perhaps they can even calm the beast, you know, a catchy tune to make it cool to learn. It's like fighting back against our circumstances in creative ways. It's Mercury's also conjunct Hebe, which is goddess of the youth. Our words, they can inspire hope, a renewed faith, and excitement for life. And it's making me think too about teachers are quitting. Perhaps they had this feeling coming up in 2025 and they tried to hang on, and now it's really realizing that there must be a severing. There must be a release. It could be that the doctors and nurses also quitting the field, um, maybe to heal our inner child by exploring the depths of our shadow. This is interesting too because Mars is conjunct fixed star Bellatrix for the strong female warrior. She's also called Conqueror and the Lion. It makes me think of Bellatrix Lestrange, right? Because it just fits her too. It's like women born under this fixed star, 20 degrees of Gemini, shall have mighty tongues. And those that succeed can be surrounded by envy and hatred. Sometimes they can fight lost causes, but they have great courage. It makes me think too with the childhood learning, the goddess of youth, Hebe. Um, can we create another fictional character that can grab hold of society the same way that Harry Potter did? Do you remember how that series took hold of society? Um, how exciting it was to read those books. As they're coming out, everyone is so excited before it comes out, wondering what it's going to be about. And the books are so long, and it's like you have to stay up and read everything. Just one more chapter, please. I have to know. And it's interesting, that's a female writer as well, Bellatrix, the strong female warrior. Um, can we have another Harry Potter? Can we have another fictional character that can make us excited to read again and make us excited to learn again? I think so. I think we can. Could be that we're moving toward relationships that can empower, to make us feel powerful, to express the hidden, to find freedom. Freedom from rules that might have defined the way that we expressed ourselves, the way we love ourselves, the way we love other people. The things in life that we're passionate about, our values, what we stand for, the things that take control of our mind, our energy levels. They can also show cult philosophies emerging with Psyche as well. Psyche is also conjunct this Jupiter Cazimi. She can refer to unwavering loyalty. Never give a stranger unwavering loyalty. Always be open to examining the facts. Ask grounded questions. Sometimes we can get carried away in someone's spinning of a tale. We think it's gold. We think they're spinning gold, but really it's gold plated. We should always ask grounded questions, fact-based questions that can help us to better find the truth, to focus on the truth. And, we can get pulled in by powerful emotions. And when someone has your heart, it's an attachment that's hard to separate from. It's hard to separate from a connection that you perceive as life-giving. So we can definitely see these people coming out of the woodwork here. Or perhaps maybe exposing some of them that have been. Looking ahead, there is a solar eclipse at the same degree in the sign of Aquarius at 6 degrees on January 26th of 2028. Um, there's a huge stellium in Aquarius at this point in time with the nodal axis there at 2 degrees, the moon at 6, the sun at 6, Pluto at 6, Mars at 18, Mercury at 19, and just turned retrograde 3 days prior. And sure, let's throw in Lilith as well. Great. A lot happening in Aquarius. A lot. Conjunct asteroid Demeter. Demeter is also a goddess of agriculture. Conjunct Hera, a goddess of traditions. And when Demeter had to give up her daughter Persephone, she grieved. For an entire year, she refused and neglected all of her duties as a goddess of fertility, a goddess of agriculture. The land, it turned barren. The people, they'd started dying out of hunger. Zeus realized that, after she refused all of the gods, gifts from all of the gods, she refused. Zeus finally realized he would have to bring her back for a particular amount of time. The cycles, the seasons, this is where we get them from, to prevent humanity from being wiped off the planet. Planting, birthing the seed, watching it grow, seeing it bear the fruit, and then die to make way for new. There are just cycles, yes. And it represents duality as well. The good, the bad, the good. We can't just remove all the bad. We can't just remove all of the struggle. It has to exist. We have to move with it, move with the duality that exists. It's making me think of the fertilizer. Some farmers unable to purchase fertilizer for this next round. We're using the last of what we have. And maybe some farmers that thought ahead were able to get something, but largely it seems like this will be a problem later on, a problem of agriculture. And it doesn't happen right away. It takes time to unfold, but then we will see the results, what takes place as a result of this. So this moon cycle, releasing something, finding out what we have to release, having more clarity on whatever that dream, that vision, that goal was in the beginning of 2025. What does it look like now? How do you move forward with it? How do you release in order to birth something new in the same area in 2028? Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like the video. Bye.